it strikes me, as I was thinking about the film, preparing for this, I mean, this is honestly not the kind of film we see released, especially by a studio nowadays. This kind of falls into that kind of like weird nether region.
Well, you're very right. I mean, from everyone I've talked to in the studio level, the people that make the decisions, it just seems like it's become an even more bottom line kind of industry. So movies like, a Paranormal Activity or something that's made for $3 million that can go on to gross $200 million, or the big tentpoles that have big marketing machines behind it. Those are the kind of movies that the studios have to make, because the films that, thank God, DreamWorks gave us the opportunity to make, which was nowhere near either of those figures. Like you said, it fell in this kind of weird gray area.
So, like, why does it exist at the end of the day, you think?
I think it's a real tribute to DreamWorks and to Steven Spielberg. And I mean, look, first of all, Alex wrote a great script, and I think as much as the business of show business is very strong and can sometimes dominate, at the end of the day, people in what we do, we like good stories. We love good stories. We're hungry for good stories. And I mean, I think if something like The Artist or a silent film in black and white with a bunch of French actors can do well, I mean, I think it's a great sign that in our times you can have both. You can have the Avengers, you can also have films like ours, which are smaller.
It also reminds me, in the best possible way, of like, even the title, it feels like it could have been a James L. Brooks kind of movie.
Yeah,
it's one of those, where frankly the titles are the most difficult part about it, I feel like.
Well, Alex talks very much about his influences in Brooks and Cameron Crowe, obviously, and
right.
We always talked about Ordinary People and Kramer versus Kramer, and it's what are great about those kind of films is that they don't necessarily, there's nothing really hooking you other than hopefully a story about a family that you relate to because it looks very much like your own. So It doesn't necessarily mean that these people have to go a great many places. It's just you get thrown in. Kramer versus Kramer is a great example of a film that you just get lost in the minutia of this world of a kid and his father making pancakes. It's like or waffles or pancakes. Anyway, we'll have to look that up. But that's the world that Alex wanted to create in this, and that was the joy of it, is really trying to figure out these kind of the everyday living of these characters.